And so this is something that I'm very passionate about as well, right? So if I can be very honest with you, when I got married, I had no idea that I was bringing a lot of invisible baggage into the relationship. When my wife got married, I had no idea, or she had no idea that she was bringing a lot of invisible baggage into the relationship as well. What am I trying to say? She went through sexual abuse at different stages of her life. I went through 7 or 8 years of sexual abuse from the age of 4 till the age of 10, 11 at the hands of a family friend. So that definitely affected my view and made me very, very secretive, made me very, very insecure, made me very, very suspicious of people, relationships, and so on. And so because a lot of fear and threats were used by my abuser with me, I just learned to bottle up my pain, bottle up my fear, bottle up my whatever I was going through. I was not good at communicating. I still remember the day that I eventually told my parents that this is what so-and-so is doing with me. And I just remember their reaction, and I felt that they started crying. And when they started crying, my parents started crying, I realized, oh my goodness, have I done something wrong by telling them that this was happening to me? I felt guilty for telling my parents that I was going through the sexual abuse for 7, 8 years. But what am I trying to say? Your history, right? I'll be frank with you. My parents didn't have a very cozy, rosy marriage. There used to be world wars in the house. My sister and I would see some major world wars happening, World War III, 4, 5, and 6. And every time the doorbell would ring, and a neighbor or family friend would come, good morning, good evening, welcome, please do come. And I'm like, whoa, I mean, just a few seconds ago it was World War III. And now so I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not so sure, and then as soon as those guests would leave, it would be back to square one. And I would be like, whoa, wait a minute, if this is marriage, I'm not so sure I want this. And so for the longest time, I had very negative views of marriage. And it took me some time to recognize that, wait a minute, perhaps I don't have a great point of reference. There is another, I need to seek out other references, other good marriages that I can draw inspiration from. And that's what I want to propose to you as well. Find great friends, find awesome friends, find people who have gone on this journey, seek out resources, seek out people that you can draw inspiration from. The other thing I want to talk about is the seed principle. So something that I learned the hard way is that at the end of the day, I cannot expect to see fruit in my relationship or in my home if I'm not sowing seeds. To give you an example, if I get a call that someone else is going, married couple are going through something, and if I am not being able to be a channel of encouragement to them, if I'm not able to be a blessing to them, if they're going through a financial challenge, if I'm not able to bless them financially, just with a little token of help, if I'm not able to help somebody out there, another home, another marriage, then I cannot expect a return in my home. If I'm trying to sow confusion or sow division in another home, another family, then I can't expect to have peace in my home. So that's a powerful principle I would like to propose to you, the seed principle, that at the end of the day, we reap what we sow. So the question is, what are you sowing? What am I sowing into other homes, into other families, into other lives? The other factor I would like to say, I would like to propose to you is core values. So when I came to faith, I had to quickly decide that I need to trade some values. There are some values I have that do not entirely line up with his values, with the values of my king and his kingdom. And I had to decide to unsubscribe and trade certain values for his values, right? So that's another thought I want to place before you. Are there some values that you have embraced that are probably not in line with the king and his values? Number 4, I would talk about our roots and our life source, your roots and your life source. So at the end of the day, if you're not happy with the kind of fruit that you're seeing in the tree, a good place to check would be your roots. So where are the roots drawing, what kind of soil is the roots, are the roots drawing their nutrients from? Where am I drawing our nutrients and our vitamins from, our relational minerals, all right? All our relationships need some vitamins and need some minerals. We need good friends around us. who are pouring into our relationship, into our marriage as well. You can be surrounding yourself with divisive friends who are trying to sow all sorts of other things in your mind, or you can have friends who will actually dare you and challenge you to be the best version of yourself in your marriage. And so who are you surrounding yourself with? And at the end of the day, where is your ultimate source? That covers the last 2 points: your life source, your roots, external influences.